Hey guys, Mr. Jalapeno here, and on today's project, the homeowner wanted these cracked control joints in the garage and in the driveway to be filled, so I'm going to show you what I did. Usually I like to clean out the control joints before I start applying anything in there. The homeowner had already epoxied the floor, which I always recommend to do last. You want to make sure you fill in the control joints first and then epoxy the floor. The homeowner thought he didn't need to do that, but then eventually he's like, hey, can you just fill in these joints? So what I'm doing here is just filling in those cracks with some caulk. If the cracks were a little bit bigger, I would fill them in with some back rod first and then caulk, or you could also use sand in this step. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. This is probably one of the easiest and cheapest ways to do it. Look, as you can see, I'm filling in those cracks. Make sure you really push in that caulk in there. That way it gets nicely filled and there's no air pockets. If there's no cracking, then you could just skip this step and apply this self-leveling sealant right in the control joint. But since these control joints were cracked, I needed to fill them with something. If I didn't fill in the cracks, then this self-leveling will seep into the crack and it's not going to fill in that control joint. Anyways, as you saw there, I cut that tip pretty small. I didn't want such a big hole because it's easier to control and that way I don't make a big mess. So now all I had to do was just fill in the control joint with the Sika self-leveling. And if you're getting any value or you just enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Mr. Jalapeno content. It really helps out the channel. If you want to get any of the tools and materials that I'm using, you can get them right here where it says products. I will also have them in my Amazon storefront if you want to check that out. You can also just go to Home Depot if that's more convenient for you. But as you can see, once I apply this stuff into the control joints, it levels itself out. This is going to help seal everything up. That way no excess moisture gets under the concrete. This is going to make it look much better. But if you are planning on epoxying your floor, make sure you do this step first and then epoxy. What do you think of how I'm addressing this issue? You like it? You don't? Could I have done something better? Let me know in the comments. I've done quite a bit of these jobs and this self-leveling stuff is very durable. I went to do a paint job for a past customer and I did this exact same thing to their driveway and garage and it still looks pretty good after a year. The bottle says it has a drying time of 2 hours, but I would probably wait maybe 8 hours before you start driving on it. I also did the control joints in the driveway. Luckily, they were not cracked, so I could just apply the Sikaflex self-leveling right in there. Whoever did this driveway did some pretty rough concrete work, but hey, it looks a little bit better now. This stuff is paintable also, and that's it. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom!